Hi, fourth grade, and welcome back to Math with Mr. G. Today we're working on week 4, day 3, and continuing our work with factors, prime and composite, as well as, excuse me, our multiples. So we have here again our chart for factors, prime numbers, and composite numbers to go over. Remember that factors are the numbers you multiply to get another number. So for instance, for 6, my factors are 2 times 3 and 1 times 6. So all the factors of 6 are 1, 2, 3, and 6. Prime numbers are the numbers that only have 2 factors, and they're only 1 and itself. So for instance, 19, we can only multiply the numbers 1 and 19 to get 19, so it's prime. Composite numbers are any numbers that have more than 2 factors. So 10, for instance, I can multiply 1 and 10, as well as 2 and 5 to get those numbers. So 1, 2, 5, and 10 are all factors of 10. So let's look at an example with our multiples. Now remember, multiples, we use our trees to solve, and we find the things that are in common. So what I'm going to do with this, since I have to find the least common multiple of 2 and 7, and we don't have like a certain number of rings that we can only go so far as, like the example yesterday, I'm going to do both of these at the same time until I find the very first one they have in common. So I'm going to have my 2 tree here, my 7 tree here. Okay. So let's first get my 2 at least close to 7 to start. So 2, 4, 6, 8. So now I have 7 and then 14. Let's get caught up with my 2. So I have 10, 12, and 14. Beautiful. Okay, so I have a least common multiple between 2 and 7 of 14. I don't need to go any farther than that. That's the very first one. So that is the least common multiple. Now let's look at 4 and 10. Same method. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not the prettiest leaves, but they'll work. 4, 8, 12. This is an interesting one because we actually know that 10, all the numbers end in 0. So let's get up to 20 and go from there and see if the first number we find was 0 and 4 tree. So 16 and yep, 20. So the lowest common multiple of 4 and 10 is 20. So lowest common multiple is 20. Great. Let's go on to our next one. So we want to list all the factors for the number 23 and find out if 23 is a prime or composite number. So I'm going to use my factor tree. So I have 1, 23. Let's think. 2 can't go into it because it's not even. 3 gets to 21 and 24, so it doesn't make it. 4 can't either, and neither can 6. So 23, the only factors for 23 are 1 and 23, and that does in fact make this a prime number. This is a really short one overall because we're going to spend a little extra time on our assessment question today, in which I need to find all of the prime numbers here. So if you remember from our last video, I said that any even number aside from 2 is composite because 2 can go into it. So it's more than just 1 in itself. So this isn't prime, this isn't prime, this isn't prime, neither is this, and neither is this. So I've actually narrowed that down almost by half. So now I'm just going to go through these and find what ones are prime and what ones are composite by trees. So 1 and 11. There's no other number that can go into 11, so 11 is in fact prime. What about 13? Yep, same thing. That is prime. 15. 1 and 15. Well, actually, 3 and 5 can go into 15, so this is composite. So it doesn't work. What about 17? Well, there's no other numbers than going to 17. I know 2 can't, 3 can't, 4 can't, 5 can't, so 17 is in fact a prime number. Now let's look at 19. The only number that gets kind of close is 3 with the 18, as well as 6, but not quite. So 19 is also prime. So we have 11, 13, 17, and 19. And look at that. Answer A is the answer for this question. If you guys need any more strategies or need to review some of the strategies I've done for this, go back and rewatch the videos. It's always good to practice these, perhaps even just get random numbers to practice these and find the prime composite, see if you can find all the factors, if you can find all of the, the multiples, find least common multiples for two numbers you pick at random. This is really just about practice and memorization. As always, I look forward to seeing your work, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.